like to welcome you all to DeKalb County, to the Maloof building. Today, I'm issuing an executive order warning the public of possible dangerous conditions in and around Intrenchment Creek Park on Boulder Crest Road in unincorporated DeKalb County. Because of these unknown and potentially dangerous contraptions that we've discovered in this location, we are closing Intrenchment Creek Park and the surrounding areas until further notice. We know there are dangers in these properties. Law enforcement officers have found hidden traps and/or other devices designed to injure, maim, or cause death to adults, children, and pets who may go into that area. But because of our parks and recreation employees have been unable to safely inspect and maintain this public property, we don't know for certain if there might be other dangerous contraptions and traps hidden. So we are concerned that we have to take this action to protect the health, safety, and welfare of individuals who live, work, and play in DeKalb. This is why I am warning all DeKalb residents and others who come to our county to avoid this location. I am confident that law-abiding citizens and residents of DeKalb County will heed this warning and protect themselves, their children, and their pets. We take this action at this time because we are concerned. We recognize that our highest priority is to protect the health, safety, and welfare of the people who live, work, and play in DeKalb County. We will maintain closure of this park until we can safely go in again, assess whatever dangers there might be, and then reopen it so that those who love the South River Forest, those who spent decades, if not years, living and working and playing in this area, can celebrate and utilize this facility again. But let me be clear, if we encounter individuals who are unaware of the closure, of course, we will inform them and ask them to leave immediately. During this period, this executive order will apply to 1, unauthorized persons entering the property will be subject to prosecution for criminal trespass and any other violation of law to the full extent of Georgia and DeKalb law. Any owner of an unauthorized vehicle parked or any other properties will be subject to prosecution for violations of any applicable law, and the vehicle will be towed and impounded. Anyone caught moving, removing, or defacing signs posted by this county on the properties will be subject to prosecution. Again, the primary purpose of today's press conference is to speak directly to law-abiding citizens, residents of DeKalb County, Georgia, to speak directly to those who live, work, and play in DeKalb County, Georgia, to speak directly to those who love and support the natural resources that are abundant in the South River Forest, urging them to understand that we take this very serious action because we know that there are dangers that have been discovered in this area, and we are afraid that there might be other hidden traps that will not only injure and maim, but can literally become deadly for small children and pets and others. We ask for the cooperation of all of our citizens. We continue to seek their support, and I am confident that law-abiding citizens will do the right thing, support this government, so that we can once again enjoy the beauty of Intrenchment Creek Park and support the continued preservation of South River Forest. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, what exactly does this order do?
Well, it makes it unlawful for anyone at this point in time to enter into the Intrenchment Creek Park and the surrounding areas that are owned by DeKalb County, Georgia.
Mr. Chairman, how are you gonna enforce this order? I mean, police have been telling these people to stay off this property. We went back out there today. Several individuals have begun building wood sheds and things of that nature. How are you gonna keep people off of this property? Will there be any additional enforcement out there?
I believe that all law-abiding citizens and residents will heed this order to protect themselves, to protect their families, their children, and to protect their beloved pets. I have no doubt whatsoever that law-abiding citizens who love DeKalb County, those who love the natural resources of DeKalb County, will support this effort because we want Intrenchment Creek to be safe so that we can return it to the purpose for which it was created, which is the enjoyment of unparalleled natural resources.
I have a question. When I was out there just last week, just on Pitts Road, we are law-abiding citizens. We're in public property on the street, and we were not allowed even on the road, on the side of the road. What is the difference between, I know this executive order, but it seems as if there's an aggressive nature of the law enforcement that is out there, even to law-abiding citizens, like news reporters who are literally just parked on the side of the road waiting to go live?
Well, I can't speak to that in terms of which law enforcement agency who directed you not to do it.
And they told us the exact requirements was that they were told no one was allowed in the area, and you either had to go between some poles that were so far away you couldn't even see the entrance.
Well, I can't speak to that. I'm not aware of the facts, but I will be happy to follow up with you to see what problems you may have had.
And that's public property, by the way.
Well, I'll be happy to discuss it. I can't debate it right now because I'm not familiar with the facts.
Mr. Chairman, as you well know, there's a...
Now, y'all insulted me a little bit. I'm not a chairman.
Sorry.
And I love all my fellow chairmen.
I'm sorry. It's been a long day so far.
No, I'm just kidding. Just call me. I don't care what you call me. Just call me.
Okay. As you well know, there's an ongoing lawsuit over this piece of land, the park itself, and the land swap that was entered into in 2020.
Yes, sir.
The judge in that lawsuit, whose name I don't have present because I heard about this press conference an hour ago, ordered that while the lawsuit is in progress, that this piece of land remain in use as a public park. So I'm wondering, who has authority here to make this kind of order? The judge or you?
Well, first, my county attorney standing to my left, Ms. Vivian Erstis, taught me very well that not to comment on ongoing litigation. It would be inappropriate to do so.
There's a written order already in the court record.
Yeah, I understand, but it would be inappropriate for me to discuss it because it's ongoing litigation at this point in time.
Mr. CEO, can you talk about what's been found out there? I see the pictures, but can you go into detail as to how they were found, how they were encountered?
Well, they were actually provided to our DeKalb County Police Department through the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, confiscated from that location, from the property. Not a law enforcement expert, but you can look and see that these are potentially deadly contraptions that were located on the property, hidden, and we are concerned that there may be others. And just my responsibility as CEO, my prime directive is to protect the health, safety, and welfare of the citizens of DeKalb County, Georgia. And I cannot in good conscience, as we now move into the warmer temperatures, not warn the public that these and other devices may be present, but also recognize that because we have been unable to go into that area to do an assessment and safety inspections, the most appropriate thing to do to be to close this park until we can make those proper assessments.
No civilians found any of these stuff, correct? All found by law enforcement?
I don't know who found them, but they were provided to us through the Georgia Bureau of Investigation.
Mr. Chairman, you said,
I'll come back, George, I'll come back to you.
you said that, the park people haven't had the opportunity to check the park because, why is that? When will they have the opportunity to go in and overlook and do their?
That's a great question. We hadn't had the opportunity to inspect the park because when we sent out employees, they were attacked with rocks and other objects. They were forced to flee for their own safety, and consequently, we could not send employees into that location.
When was
That's been within the last 12 months. We've tried it on multiple occasions, and each time they were repulsed from the location. George?
Chairman.
Now, you know better, George. Now,
I know that. CEO Thurmond. All right, so the closure of the park raises an interesting First Amendment question. What I'm curious about is the degree to which, how do I put this? How do you accommodate people who wish to protest peacefully while the park is closed? Like what accommodation, like basically where do they go?
we support, as you know, legal protests, nonviolent protests. Actually, it's dangerous for anyone attempting to protest in that location. It's dangerous to any human being, particularly children and or pets. So we are doing, my prime directive is to protect your welfare, your health and your safety, and consequently, I take this very, I think, serious step to do just that. We encourage all people to protest about any issue they feel strongly about. This presents a very different problem because this becomes a threat to health and safety.
One follow-up question very quickly.
Yes, sir.
Do you believe that the protests that are happening at Intrenchment Park threatens Atlanta's chances to get the 2024 Democratic National Convention?
I have no comment on that.
Mr. CEO, why now? Why, you mentioned the 12 months that your staff have been trying to get in there and basically review the park and see what dangers there are. Why now? Why not next week? Why not last month? Why now?
It's never too late to do the right thing. It's always the right time to do the right thing. It doesn't matter. The real challenge now is the time of year when more and more people are getting out, people are returning to the parks. And because we became more and more concerned about the fact that there may be additional devices conferring with law enforcement at the local and state level, that is why I made the decision
Is
today.
there going to be law enforcement officers at each of those locations, just making sure that people don't go in there, or what? And is that going to be the DeKalb County Police, or is APD helping out, GSP helping out, GBI helping out? Who's going to be enforcing this?
You know, call me naive. I think law-abiding citizens are going to heed the warning. I'm not presupposing that people are going to violate this executive order or any other law. That is why this press conference is about appealing to people who want to do the right thing, to protect themselves, protect their children, and protect pets. Who would want someone's beloved dog or other animal to become ensnared in one of these traps? Who would want that? Who would want a child to become injured by one of these devices? No one. No matter how they feel, no matter what side of the aisle they're on, no matter whether or not they are for or against the police training center, I know that people of goodwill would not want that to occur.
Mr. CEO, you mentioned before that people who are unaware will be warned by law enforcement when they're in there. At what point are they going to start arresting people?
Well, that's not up to me. I'm not law enforcement. My job is to warn and to educate and to solicit the support of our citizens to help us protect all of us who live, work, and play in DeKalb.
A follow-up question, can your order withstand legal challenge?
You know, my law license is in abeyance now. I'm not actively practicing law. And we have a great county attorney, and we have a great county attorney's office, but I don't believe that this executive order will be challenged legally. It might, and if so, we'll do what we do. But right now, I'm just being hopeful. See, one of the things that we become so entrenched in our views that we can't really rise above it and think about what can we do to protect children? What can we do to protect innocent people, regardless of our views? How do we protect someone's beloved pet who might wander into this forest and become injured or maimed or die? That's what this is about.
So what's your message to the people who are there right now, today?
I'm asking all citizens, residents, and those who love the South River Forest Basin, as we all do. I'm asking all who love Intrenchment Creek Park, as we all do, to heed this warning, to rise above whatever differences we might have, and make sure that we are protecting innocent people from being maimed, from being injured, and potentially losing their lives. Think about it. Someone walking on a trail and trips, a blow to the head is deadly. It becomes not just a hidden trap, it becomes a death trap. And I know whether you're in Intrenchment Creek Park right now or anywhere in DeKalb County, anywhere in this state, nobody wants to see innocent people, particularly children, being hurt or injured. I just know that to be true. Thank y'all so much.